Hello, gentlemen, investors and traders. Project and Touch Guru Markets. Let's start with summary data for the company. If you want, you can put a stop. You can take a closer look at all the parameters of the organization under study. Now let's look at the company's current fundamental indicators Driven Brands Holdings, ticker DRVN. Review based on data as of April 22, 2025. By classification Guru, Markets organization Driven Brands Holdings belongs to the subcategory Auto Parts. 38 organizations participate in the assessment, which is very representative. We'll look at the final solutions at the end of the video. Result for the company under study, minus 7.5 out of 10 points. The average result for the subcategory is 2.4 points. If you look broadly, within the entire US stock market in general, you can see that the average result for the entire market in the aggregate is 1.8 points, against the score of minus 7.5 points from Driven Brands Holdings. Comparing the dynamics of the company's share price Driven Brands Holdings Inc. and subcategory companies, we will see that over the past 12 months the company's shares Driven Brands Holdings showed a change of 8.2%. Against price changes for the 6.5% subcategory. This clearly does not indicate anything, but it is necessary to take note of this fact. Market capitalization of the company Driven Brands Holdings is $2.59 billion. With a subcategory capitalization of $270 billion. Driven Brands Holdings Inc. has a share of 0.959%. It is one of the small companies in the subcategory. The company's balance sheet capitalization is estimated at $0.61 billion. And the balance sheet capitalization of the subcategory is $68 billion. Driven Brands Holdings Inc. constitutes a share of 0.891%. Having made a comparison of the occupied shares of market and book value, we see the following. Share Driven Brands Holdings in a subcategory when assessing market value is 0.959%. The balance sheet capitalization is 0.891%. This is 7% less than the share of market value. Assessment of the company's share of market and book value in the subcategory, bad, minus 1 point. The analyzed company's debts amount to $4.068 billion. Debt to book value represents 666.9% of the company's equity. Result on the company's debts, very bad, minus 2 points. The company's stock price to earnings ratio is 0. The average for the subcategory is 19.6, which is worse than for the subcategory. Assessment of the company's market value to profit indicator in comparison with organizations of the subcategory, very bad, minus 2 points. Profit for the last 12 months was minus $287 million. Future earnings for the coming 12 months are tentatively expected to be $251 million. And this is 12.4% less than now. Assessment of the predicted future profit indicator in comparison with in the subcategory, tolerable, 0 points. The company's value to revenue ratio is 1.1. The average in the subcategory is 0.9, and this is 22% higher than in the subcategory. Assessment of stock market value to revenue indicators in comparison with indicators in the subcategory, tolerable, 0 points. Revenue for the last 12 months was $2,340 million. Forecasted revenue for the coming 12 months is unknown. And this is extremely bad for the company's price. Assessment of projected future sales indicators in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory, bad, -1 point. The sales margin is -12.3%, with an average in the subcategory of 4.8%. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 17.1%. Assessment of sales margins in comparison with indicators in the subcategory, tolerable, -0.5 points. The company's share in terms of the number of employees in the subcategory is 0.875%. This is 10% less than the market capitalization share. And this fact reflects the imbalance in the company's market value-driven brands holdings, most likely towards revaluation. The amount of market capital per employee of the organization is $242,000, whereas for the subcategory, $221,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 9.5%. Assessment of the amount of market capital per employee in comparison with indicators in the subcategory, tolerable, 0 points. The amount of profit for each employee of the company is -$26,800. Average for the subcategory, $11,300. And the difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 138%. Assessment of profit per employee in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory, tolerable, -0.5 points. The company's sales volume per employee is $219,000. By subcategory, $235,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 7%. Estimation of the share of revenue per company employee in comparison with indicators in the subcategory, tolerable, -0.5 points. The volume of sales transactions is 15.9%, with an average for the subcategory of 2.5%. This is an assessment of a possible short squeeze. Indicator RSI 14 shows a level of 43% for the company-driven brands holdings. For the subcategory, the RSI level, 14, is 44%. Potentially, securities of the subcategory are valued approximately the same as the company's shares-driven brands holdings. The company's current stock price is approximately $15.78. The consensus price target for the company's shares is around $20.09. The difference between the actual estimate and the consensus forecast is approximately 27%. Let's look at the order table. It is available to you. A link to it is in the pinned comment. The order table contains all decisions publicly made this season by the stock valuation information and reference System.GURU.Markets. Access to the order table is free and open. Link in pinned comment. Based on the analysis of the company-driven brands holdings. Information System.GURU.Markets, the following decision is made. Open an order to sell at a price of $15.77. The order was opened due to the fact that the company has a relatively low valuation. The company's assessment was made using the assessment model, the Akeem's Index. Take profit is set at 13.94. Stop loss is set at 17.6. In case the order is not closed by take profit or stop loss. In this case, the order is fixed independently based on the results of the exchange session on May 22, 2025, or on the last working day before this date. Ticker MGA, will become the main buy order. The video on the main order has already been published on this channel. In case of closing of any of the orders, basic or balancing, the second order is fixed at the current price. Thank you all so much for watching this video and using the help System.GURU.Markets.